OG nitty, what's going on, my G? How you feeling today?
Man, I'm blessed, man. Every day above ground, every day free, man. It's truly a blessing. So today, man, I wanted to talk to y'all concerning the day I was actually arrested and many of the people that was involved, or should I say, the different branches of law enforcement, which at the time, as I can remember, it was the U.S. Marshals, the ATF, homicide, and Baltimore City Police. And I remember they had blocked the streets off when they brought me out. And but before, cause I'm jumping ahead, when they came in there, it was really, I gotta tip my hat, whether they are police or not, cause they actually caught me lacking, right? As the young dudes would say today, right? And I think had the feds not been there, they would most certainly have killed me, right? So it was like, instead of kicking the door in and giving me a chance to have a shootout with them, they did something. Like I said, I got to give credit where credit is due. They went and got the key for the rental office and came in with the key, right? They snuck in with the key. So me and a young lady who I will only mention her name as Tia, we was laying in bed. Young lady I was dealing with. We was laying in bed, and all I heard was, and I don't care how old I get, I will never forget this. All I heard was, "Don't you fucking move. Don't you fucking move. I will put a fucking bullet in your fucking head. Don't you fucking move." Now, because earlier matter of fact, it was the day before that, some people had tried to do a drive-by on me, right? It was a hit, from time to time. I was almost kind of used to it. At this time, people would put hits out on me, right? Other bosses around the stuff, around the city and stuff, they would put hits out on me and things like that. For those who don't know, I've been shot a total of 7 times, different times, right? So, it's crazy how they came in there, because earlier, like I said, somebody tried to do a drive-by on me, and they was, back then the knockers used to have a certain car, where the young dudes called 12 now, right? So they sat down there and was they were driving like the knocker cars, right? And they had a little vest on and stuff like that. And this is also one of the times that it was alleged that I had used this young lady as a shield.
Let me ask you a question real quick, OG. So when they came and got you, you knew they was on your trail, or you ain't knew you was hot at the time? You was surprised when they came?
Oh nah, I wasn't surprised at all, right? I mean, it seemed like anywhere they had ever heard that I had frequent, they was kicking it in. Right? They like, I feel bad to this day, because you had friends of mine who grandmother house they was kicking in. Who I might have been there one time in life, right, with their grandson. So, and if they're still alive, I humbly apologize, for any, mistreatment or discomfort that you suffered, right, to the grandmothers. Um, so as I was saying, it was so it was so crazy, because of the drive by. Well, I know a lot of people want to hear about the drive by. So this what happened. It was 2 cars following each other, right? It looked like knocker cars. And the only thing that saved me, right? Because I was kind of like standing on the sidewalk, and the only thing that saved me was that the dude in the passenger seat of the front car was kind of leaning out the window looking, and he had on shade glasses. He was leaning out the window looking, and he smiled, and I seen all the goals in his mouth, so I knew it wasn't the police, right? So as soon as I seen him lean back, I seen the guns coming out the window. So the young lady who I was talking to at the time, not Tia, right, another young lady who was in a conversation together. They got to shooting. So yes, I did grab her by her ponytail and use her as a shield until I got to the car and the safety. And surprisingly, she didn't get hit one time, right? Thankfully, right? I got grazed across the eye. Well, a little more than grazed because it still affects my eyes to this day, right? So it's like when they came, like who that whole little ordeal, because I remember one of the homicide detectives. He had a folder, right, and we were sitting at the dining room table at my house, right, and he was sitting. I remember him having a folder of some of the victims, right, and he would like put down a picture and say, "Do you know this person?" I'm like, "Nah," right? And so he would put down the autopsy picture of them and say, "Do you know him now?" And I would say, just like before, "No, I never seen him." Right, right. So he was, we kind of back and forth because I don't know if he was trying to sweat a confession or what. I mean, I don't. Who knows what be in the mind of them people, right? However, um, it was really wild because when they got me to the police station, they put me down to robbery homicide division in Baltimore. I remember one of the ladies that kind of do the pictures and things of that nature. I remember when I first came in, like police was clapping right throughout the station. They was clapping, and when I came in, and the lady to do the pictures, she stood beside me and said, "Is this him?" Right? She said, "The way they talk about him, I expected him to be 9 feet tall." Right? Because me and her were about the same height. So, you know, because I know she did it as a gesture of disrespect. So I, returned the favor by purposely leaning back and let her say that I was looking at her butt. Right? So, um, so they what they did down there, it was like once again it was kind of torture. It was cold, right? They for some reason they had the air like the I guess air conditioner whatever. It was on really cold, and my cell was wet. Like they had sprayed it down with a hose or something. It was wet, and I never forget that they took off my clothes and they had me in these like kind of white overalls, right? Almost made of cloth. So I never forget they had this on this fan blowing high on myself all night. So it was in there freezing, right? It was freezing, but I understood even back then that it comes with the game.
Let me take you back for a minute, OG. So when they came in and got you, when they surprised you, that you when they locked you up there, you went to court. That's when you got your time. That all the time that you received. Did you hit the streets again after that, and then went back?
No, I didn't hit the streets again until recently when I came home.
So once they got you, then you hit, next time you hit the street, but after you did your 30 years.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I was like, it was even funny because back to that. I'm sorry, y'all, cause I forgot a part. Uh, One of my henchmen, by the name of Corey, back then, because of the drive-by, he came home with me, in case the people knew where I lived at, right? Who did the drive-by? Because at the time we didn't know who had did it, right, and even why, right? So it was funny because he was asleep in the other room, right, in the guest room, and as he had me and a young lady that I was dealing with out in the hallway, right, they had really bypassed him, I guess, to get back there to our room, right? So when they woke him up, now he's asleep. Somebody who supposed to be my protector, right? Picture that one, right? Somebody who supposed to be my protector sits down there and basically fall asleep on the job. Because when they came in there and when they woke him up, they had to really like shake him because we was in the hallway already cuffed. So they had to shake him, and then when they had the guns in his face, he probably almost got all of us killed. Because I know if they'd have killed him, they definitely would have go kill me, right? So they they uh they shook him kind of a little harder. He wake up and actually smack one of the guns out of his face. Up, man, get that fucking gun out of my face. I said, oh my God, we dead, right? So, like I said, they brought us downstairs and they took us all in separate vehicles. I went in what they call a paddy wagon, right? The young lady she went in a car, and Corey also went into a car, right? So, I'm glad to say nobody there told. Right, I'm proud to say that none of them told. Right, it's sad that I can't say the names of some of those who did, although they didn't come to court. Right, what they did was they told at homicide, and where they say, hey, will you come to court and testify to that? They said no, 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 no. But the damage was already done. And like I said, in many of these cases, you have people lying. It's no need for me to lie about it now, right? And in many of these cases, these people was lying, but like I said, these dudes, and then what gets me is that they still be in the game, right? That's why I said I had to back them off of it, right? And then say, you know what? I'm going to try to do in this corporate world, in this everyday business world, what I did in the game, right? And I'm not talking about anything concerning harming anybody in any shape, form, or fashion. I'm talking about that sheer will and determination, right? To succeed, right? To never say die. Excuse me. So it's like I try to apply that now, right? And it's been a little bumps in the road, but nothing that I can't handle, right? Because as and in the words of somebody who I'm a fan of, not only his music but also his way of thinking, right? And I'm speaking about Kevin Gates. When I see so much on my plate, and I say, wow, man, I'm just getting back, right? Uh, I'm trying to take care of myself and make sure my family good, this and that. And I said, man, and then I said, hold up, what's wrong with you? You right on the verge of saying, why me? When in all reality, you should say, why not me? I'm really built for this shit. So I take that kind of attitude and that expression towards kind of everything now. right? Uh, I believe, and I'm not like some dudes forget. I'm not delusional, but I do understand that my will to do something, right? Like I take myself. Here you had uh, a young man, and I do mean a young man with an even younger mind, go to prison, right, at this age, but still understood that learning the law was his only way of not dying in prison because I'm no escape artist, right? So I'm just keeping a stack. So,
So we can say, OG, that your story is that not only is it teaching young people not to go to prison, you know what I mean, but they can learn if they do happen to go to prison, they can learn from it all. So not only go to prison and just go to prison, but go to prison and learn something from while you in prison.
right,
And also the things you tell them, like it should also disturb them not to go to prison because the things you got to go through once they go to prison and once they get out of
see,
prison.
in a perfect world, people will want to, say, hey, you gotta be careful because you do something wrong, you're going to prison. But in all reality, I'm gonna give it to y'all raw, and I'm talking to the young people now. Uh, when you go to prison, especially when you're young, hope that your mother, which majority, let's keep it a stat, or your fathers are not around, right? In some cases, because they're deadbeat, and others because it was kind of forced away, right? And keeping that shit a stat. Um, when you go to prison, you're going to, you have to expect this. Everybody, especially if you got a significant amount of time, we're not talking about 2 years, shit like this, which 2 years is bad. If you lock me up for a day, because I'm loving life. So if you lock me up for a day, it feel like you locked me up for 100 years, right? So because I look at life and say, man, it's so full and it's so much that you can do. If you stay the course. So going back to that, going back to you kind of prison because telling y'all not to do something, y'all not listening to that. Let's keep that shit bad. Y'all not listening, right? But so I'm gonna give you the choice. Expect, like I said, if you had a girl, yeah, she fucking trust me, she gone, right? And even if she stick around for a little while, she'll be gone eventually, right? Um, expect, uh, because of the economy, in our United States, the economy is tight. It becomes even tighter on the working poor to be charitable by sending you money for commissary because the state doesn't take care of you outside of 3 meals a day. That's all you get. They're not entitled to give you commissary, so you can have you some snacks and none of that, and soda, sip on, little dead pop, none of that. They're not obligated, and they don't. Right? So expect, uh, if you're not in a gang, and I don't want you to take this as me encouraging, recruiting, or anything like that, because I'm not. But expect that if you're not in a gang, in the majority of times, uh, you're gonna be tested. That's the best way I can put it. You're gonna be tested, and maybe not always is physical, as sometimes it's mental, to the point where you become what they call a stash house. Because a dude know the police is on him and they trying to catch him. They can't catch him yet, right? But it's because he done turned you into a stash house. In prison, the stash house is where you hide all your knives, your drugs, and your shit like that, right? Anything, your DVDs and all that old shit, the thumb drives, all that, you hide in the stash house. So, and you keep your stash house to yourself, right? You don't let your main man know who your stash house is, right? And it's no offense to him, but he's that important because they get tired of running up in your cell, coming up, goose eggs, right? They get tired of that, so they'll eventually leave you the fuck alone, right? Because as long as, how they used to say, my man, he was called a buddy of mine, they called him Black Man. He said, man, as long as you secure the package, right? Like, it have been times where guys then came straight from the visitor room and went on lockup. Not because they got knocked off or anything. They might get into a fight with somebody on the way back, right? And I never forget this. Everybody kind of coined this term, right? He asked the dude when he got locked up, he said, hey, man, did you secure the package, right? And that became kind of the joke, around the jail. But back to far as guys come to prison, like, get used to not wearing your own clothes, not really being able to get your hair cut. Definitely, like, all the slick shit, get your shit lined up and all that. Yeah, forget about all that. Forget about all that. Let me see. Like I said, it's a number of things, man. Like I said, you gonna have problem with the phones, man. You gonna have problem with a lot of shit, right? And not, like I said, encourage you to join no gang, cause I don't.
So
right.
That's right, OG. But so when they got you, how much time you spent in booking city jail before you actually went to court?
Well, I was ready to tell you the booker wasn't built at the time that I got knocked out. I wasn't built yet. I stayed over fighting the charges for about 2 years, I guess. Yeah, about 2 years I stayed over city jail fighting the charges and everything. And I even tried to prolong my time over there because I was, having relations with one of the female officers, at the time. So, I wasn't trying to, remove myself from that, right? However, they just came and snatched me, and that was the end of that. But it's like when I got in DOC, Benzo, this is my second incarceration. When I got in DOC, all I can remember is how dull and gloomy it looked in there. But I promise you, we're gonna pick back up on this because my time is up. However, I promise y'all, and I ask y'all to please be patient. Part 2 is coming very soon, within the next day or so, and we're gonna pick up where we left off. Right? Everybody out there, take care. We thank you for Frank Nitty in the Square, brought to you by Silver Wolf TV. Peace.
Thanks for watching, y'all. God bless. YouTube TV.
Remember to subscribe to the channel.